Hello students, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll solve the fourth English passage of the April 2018 ACT Form A09, George Mesa and the Smoky Mountains. Mesa Knob, a densely forested peak in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, isn't as majestic a park attraction as Klingman's Dome or Laurel Falls. So here, I need to choose the correct expression. Now, forested peak, this spelling of peak is wrong because if I'm talking about a mountain, I need to say P-E-A-K, right? P-E-E-K is to take a peek at something, which is to look at something. So J and F is wrong. And between forest and forested, I would obviously choose forested because this is the adjective form of the forest word. So a densely forested peak in Great Smoky Mountains, G. Isn't as majestic a park attraction as Klingman's Dome. So this is fine the way it's written. So this is good. Isn't so much a majestic, that is incorrect. Isn't so majestic a park attraction, but not so much a majestic. So this is wrong. Isn't as majestic as the park attraction? No, we want to talk about the park attraction being majestic, and this doesn't do that. And isn't majestically a park attraction? No, I'm not saying that. I'm comparing the sense of majesticness. So this is also wrong. A is fine. It's a humble landmark named for a man who tirelessly explored, documented, and fought to protect and would become the most visited national park in the United States. So it's a humble landmark named for a man. This is correct. The preposition for goes with named. So I like this. Named from, named upon, or named of. This is not the correct preposition. So this question tests idiomatic usage. Option F. It's a humble landmark named for a man who tirelessly explored, documented, and fought to protect what would become the most visited, right? He fought to protect the most visited national park. So what would become the most visited national park? If I say protect and would become, then that's wrong because I need to talk about what he's protecting. So this conjunction is wrong. If I say and fought to protect it, which would become, then I'm unnecessarily using too many words when I can simply say what. And if I say fought to protect, which would become the most visited, then again, the object is missing. So C is also wrong. So the best answer is D. Japanese immigrant Izuka Masahara adopted the name George Mesa in 1915 when he took a job as a bellman at an upscale hotel in Asheville, North Carolina. Now, I'm introducing the immigrant, right, by his name. So this is not additional information. This is essential to the sentence. So I will not put any commas around it. So J is fine. The way it's written is wrong because that makes it additional information. And a single comma is used when I'm trying to separate a dependent clause or a modifier from an independent clause. And none of that is happening here. So G and H are wrong. He often took pictures of hotel guests. Mesa's photos depict prosperous vacations, some enjoying hikes organized by Mesa himself. So when we talk about Mesa's photos depicting prosperous, then I need to talk about people, right? Because I'm saying some enjoying hikes by Mesa himself. So vacationers, not vacations, the people who came for the vacation. Not vacation scenes or vacationing, the people. So B. 3 years after settling in Asheville, which was when Mesa opened a photography studio. So I don't need to say this because I can simply say 3 years after settling in Asheville, Mesa opened a photography studio. So delete the underlined portion. It was then that, or at which point, none of this is required because simply saying 3 years after tells me the timeline. So J. The fog-shrouded mountains surrounding Asheville frequently lured Mesa with heavy, unwieldy camera equipment in tow out of the studio he had opened in Asheville. out of his studio, right? I don't have to repeat the fact that he opened it in Asheville. So just C would make sense. The fact that he was drawn towards the mountains tells me that he went into the mountains. So B is redundant. And out of there is ambiguous, right? It's better to say that he was lured into the mountains out of his studio. So C is clear and concise. Morning hikes became weeks-long expeditions. To get the perfect shot, Mesa would scale the highest mountains, lugging his equipment on his back. Which choice most effectively emphasizes that his equipment was unwieldy? So to lug something is to kind of carry something with effort, right? Something that has weight. So that's actually the best response to indicate that his equipment was unwieldy. It was not something that was easy to carry. So I like F. Transporting, carrying, or taking, none of them have the sense of the equipment being difficult to carry. So F. He sometimes waited hours for the clouds to arrange themselves to his liking before he took a picture. Mesa's measuring instruments were innovative. Using an odometer mounted on the detached front end of a bicycle, Mesa measured his routes. He pushed the contraption across the steep terrain, hiking and measuring, measuring and hiking year after year. From these measurements, he produced detailed maps. Given that all the statements are true, which one provides the most effective transition from the preceding paragraph to this? So here I'm saying that he used to go and take photos with a lot of effort. And here I'm saying that he converted those photos with his measuring tools to produce detailed maps. So his measuring instruments were innovative. That doesn't really fit into the introduction of the map making. So I don't like this. Mesa wasn't content only exploring and photographing the mountains, however, right? So this is a good introduction because it leads into map making. So I like this. Mesa's photos of the Smoky Mountains were not only detailed, but also artistic. So this is not a good introduction for map making. And bicycling was another of Mesa's interests. Again, doesn't really segue into the discussion of map making. So B. Mesa made it his mission to ensure that the land he treasured would be preserved as a national park. He gave his photos and maps to prominent Asheville visitors, recruiting First Lady Grace Coolidge and wealthy philanthropist John D. Rockefeller, among others, to join the park campaign. Okay, so he recruited these, among others. That makes sense. So not a problem. Amid other big shots, I don't think I want to say that. One, the term big shot is not really a respectful term for somebody who is famous. And I'm just trying to say that he recruited people to join his park campaign. So I don't have to kind of use this expression. And so forth and etc. is not really the best way to convey that he recruited people. He recruited these and others, right? So the best answer is F. In reality, to build support from the wider public, Mesa distributed thousands of postcards of his photos. Okay, so here I'm speaking about the contribution that he sought from the First Lady and Rockefellers, and then the fact that he wanted to build support from the wider public. So he distributed thousands of postcards of his photos. So this is like a sequence, right? He first went to these famous personalities and then distributed thousands of postcards. So I like then because that indicates a sequence. In reality, it doesn't make sense because even what happened before was real. It's not something that changed. All in all would make sense if I'm trying to conclude something, right? So for example, he went to the Rockefellers, he went to the public. All in all, he spent 3 months trying to gather support, right? So it's kind of a concluding thing, not something that would come as a next step. And thus indicates cause effect, and there is no cause effect here between the previous and the current statement. So C is a good answer. Great Smoky Mountains National Park was established in 1934, a year after Mesa's death. Although not many park visitors climb Mesa Knob or know about its namesake and advocate, I think they should. So its namesake, ITS without the apostrophe, because this is the pronoun for Mesa Knob. So this one, IT apostrophe S is it is, so that can't be correct. This is they are, and this is the plural pronoun, so it can't be correct for Mesa Knob. Which choice most effectively concludes the sentence and the essay? So I'm saying not many park visitors climb Mesa Knob or know about its namesake and advocate. Let's read the options. I think they should. Archivists still search for Mesa's photographs today. They all owe their visit in part to George Mesa. It can be found just off the Appalachian Trail. So it's C, right? Because I'm kind of saying that not many park visitors climb this particular peak, but the entire idea of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park was initiated and run by Mesa. So if you go to this place, you kind of owe your visit to George Mesa. So it's also a tribute to him by concluding the passage with this sentence, right? I think they should is just vague, right? It doesn't really capture the extent of Mesa's contribution as well as option C does. And archivists still search for Mesa's photographs, or the fact that it can be found off the Appalachian Trail doesn't really speak of Mesa, so it's not good. Suppose the writer's primary purpose had been to describe how an artist discovered and developed his or her talent. Would this essay accomplish that purpose? Okay, so let's look at the options. Yes, because the writer indicates that visitors to Asheville inspired Mesa to try out photography. Yes, because the writer describes tools that Mesa created to refine his photography techniques. No, because the writer focuses on how Mesa used his talent to help explore and preserve a specific area. No, because the writer admits that not many visitors to Great Smoky Mountains National Park know about Mesa. So I think it should be it, right? The idea that an artist discovered and nurtured his talent, that's not the main focus of the passage. The main focus of the passage is how Mesa used his photography to ensure that this area that he cherished, was turned into a national park. Option F, yes, he was inspired to try out photography, but I think the larger point is how he contributed to the national park. So I don't think that's the best option. The fact of his using certain tools definitely does not really speak about developing a talent for photography. And even though most people do not know about Mesa, the truth is that he did contribute to the creation of the national park. So this is not right. Okay, let's grade this. 46 onwards. GAFDJ, GAFDJ, BJCFB, BJCFB, FCJCH, FCJCH. Okay, great. So we got all correct. Hope this exercise helped. If it did, hit like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section what other videos you'd like me to upload. I'll see you in a new video soon. Take care. Bye-bye.